Retrostudio is full of mystery, to unused hats, to events, to content, and assorted tragedies. There's a lot to explore in this game, but with this topic of Retrostudio being a mystery is something that they are still in danger with. Hackers or exploiters, whether you love them or hate them, they are always a different variant of Retrostudio. They either fling you and act like a complete jerk, or the ones that completely corrupt your own game in oblivion. What you're looking at right now is my Retrostudio hacker ICEBERG. I know there's not much entries, but there's also not much Retrostudio hackers in general. The ICEBERG is from least harm to the most harmful. I will explain each entry in a timely manner. This ICEBERG is also free for everyone to use, so that means you can also add on to it if needed. Thank you for choosing to watch this video. I will not disappoint you, so jump right into it. Admin exploits. I would say admin exploits are the least harmless type of exploit all Retrostudio has. It's whenever an admin will just troll a little bit and plaster games with images and stuff. Client-sided exploiters. Now, client-sided exploiters, oh boy, they look like they're having a lot of fun, right? Like their exploits are dangerous and very harmful. Well, no, not at all. These type of exploiters look like they're having a blast exploiting the game when they can always see it. Someone in the vanilla version of Roblox with no exploits, or just anybody else, just they cannot see their whatever going on. Yeah, it's really useless, but at the same time it's pretty fun to mess around with, I guess. It's causing no harm though whatsoever. Retro Defender. Retro Defender, I'd say, actually helps. What it was is it detects backdoors in your game. This is on an ICEBERG due to it basically being an exploit to find these backdoors or hidden scripts. Nobody really trusted it. The owner has said some weird stuff that I can't show on here on YouTube, but yeah, that's it. We are now going to move on to the second layer, the tip of the iceberg. You may wonder what the red entries are on the iceberg. These are parts that have to blur out heavily because they contain some weird stuff. So let's get right onto it. Viewer discretion is advised. Cool Kid Wannabes. Cool Kid Wannabes are just exploiters that do, mess up the map and stuff, but they use scripts like Cool Kid or spam decals of him, which is, pretty common out here on Retrostudio, but it can take it care of due to the great moderation team quickly. Retro Thuggers. Retro Thuggers is a group of exploiters. If you feel like that name is familiar, 1. They gave me their GUI to hack my own game in my previous video about Retrostudio ARGs. Or 2. If you're familiar with You vs. Homer, they're the one that do this. Yeah, it's really corny. Also, don't mess with my boy Agus 3K. That is my homeboy. I don't condone this at all, by the way, just to get that out the way, and I wish for stuff like this to stop. No-name exploiters. No-name exploiters still exploit games, but they're not really that known in the community. Their exploits still work and at times can bypass words and images, but they don't really make a name for themselves, or a Discord to talk with other exploiters, or just anything in general. These exploiters aren't affiliated with anybody and don't make much of a voice for themselves, but still are pretty harmful. We're going to submerge the waters, and boy, from here on, it's going to get a bit spicy, so make sure to realize that viewer discretion is advised and enjoy the rest of the video onto the third layer of the iceberg. You'll see some recognizable names that you guys may know of. Goofy Business. Oh, Goofy Business. That name rings such a loud bell, doesn't it? If you've been playing Retrostudio recently in mid this year from June to August of 2025, Goofy Business is a household name of exploiting then. This was actually a group of people that backdoored free admin low quality games. This backdoor will change the skybox to this avatar, the infamous map. I even have 2 videos of his sites in my second channel. Although these past months, the team has been nowhere to be seen as they had quit not too long ago. I allegedly was in contact of these people behind Goofy Business and we were planning an interview, but they went Hollywood on me and they even replied back to me. They were so notorious back then that even head boss of Retro Dev had to warn others to be careful of what to put in their game. And they're right, it's honestly so crazy how your game can go from this to this in such a short time. The reason that I put this so high is of how short-lived this was. The most they've done this was from July of 2025. In fact, they hacked over about 5 games then. But it just died out so quick. David L. Jr. Now think of an edgy, corny internet kid that spams stores and COD lobbies and smells like dog poop. Now imagine that but a Retrostudio exploiter. David L. Jr. was a Retrostudio exploiter that created his own GUI to exploit really vulnerable games. He's gone around his life saying some really disturbing stuff. One of his scripts contains Brunky NSFW all over his skybox. Yeah, nah. Quite weird, isn't it, huh? It's really weird that he turned out to be a corny, weird dude instead of actually making something out of his exploits. Overall, he's just seen in the community as not as a good person, so that's why his entry's red. He's just not a good person at all. He's not really somebody you should get along with or talk to because he's just, no. That's David Jr. to you all, ladies and gentlemen. He's not the best man, but he's an exploiter, so I gotta cover him. Retromate. Retromate was a group of exploiters that made many versions of GUIs to backdoor and exploit in Retrostudio games. They'd be able to bypass it in many games to hack these portable games or even their old games at certain times. You may have seen their exploits before because they actually have their own YouTube channel. Retromate also uses script as their own computer viruses. Versatile if I do say so myself. Although some may wonder why this is higher than Child X/Chinchild, and I say this because it hasn't lasted as long as Child X had. Retromate is pretty dangerous, and that dangerous to where a point that RetroDev had made a list of every Retromate member or contributor to Retromate so that if all people of Retromate could be banned from any Retrostudio related server. However, this is the least of Retromate's concerns because they are on to bigger and better projects as of speaking right now. As we're digging deeper into the iceberg, we're coming across 2 red entries, so if your discretion is advised, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the iceberg. This actually includes Child X, DRC, and filter bypassers, so get your ears ready, get your eyes ready, get some popcorn ready, and let's get on to deeper of the iceberg. Filter bypassers. Filter bypassers is just what you expect. It's just a way to bypass the chat filter on Roblox using a certain script. But this time it's on Retrostudio. It's really hard to make it on Retrostudio without fonts, without any tricks, anything, just pure bypass. Obviously I have to board this out, but it's not easy to do any script that execute on Retrostudio like this. DRC. The DRC was formed by Retromate members. There's obviously not much from DRC from it being a pre-successor of Retromate, but obviously this could let you bypass the filter. It has some more scripts. It's just like there's literally a video of a DRC, isn't it, where they're just bypassing the hard R. Like, why is every Retrostudio exporter in general so obsessed with saying slurs, especially that one? Like, Child X. Oh, Child X. Child X, I believe, has been on Retrostudio for about as long as I can remember. They're an exploit group that has been around for some time now, but rumors are heard that they are back, but not exploiting on Retrostudio per se. Now, with Child X, they have many different variants. For example, Chinchild was a backdoor that backdoored many free admin owner online games. Basically just low quality games. Then, Chinchild joined Child X, which has made them to one exploit. I had talked to many members in high ranks of Child X. I believe that they were the first exploit group I got to talk to. Child X/Chinchild were both notorious for the backdoors that they used to have on Retrostudio. Many players used to fear this as this was years ago, cause not as much people are aware of exploiters, but Child X, I believe, changed everything for exploiting on Retrostudio. However, they usually hack low quality games or sometimes their own games like Retromate. Moving on to the 5th layer, this is where it starts to get really serious. No matter what game you are in, it will get hacked, it will get exploited. This is when Retrostudio exploits get taken up to a notch. Retro Offender. When you heard that name, I bet you thought of Retro Defender, the script that finds backdoors, right? Well, imagine that but like an evil version per se. Retro Offender is basically the off Retrostudio script that scanned Retrostudio games for vulnerable GUIs. For example, stuff like admin panels that have been protected. This allows the person using Retro Offender to use those GUIs and exploit them. This lets anybody that had Retro Offender abuse bad GUIs, Dex GUIs, and many admin panels by using Retro Offender. This is another reminder to check your games for any vulnerabilities, cause no matter what, exploiters will still try to crack any easy code. This script will let exploiters have access to any mod exclusive GUI in any game if it wasn't protected enough. Seal hacks. Oh, seal hacks, where do I begin? Seal hacks is an exploit that is ran through an executor that bypasses Retrostudio. This has many scripts like the filter bypass and other scripts that are hard to input in Retrostudio. Fun fact, one of the main owners, Steel, is the reason why you guys have this video. He gave me a large amount of information in the images and videos, so I gave my biggest pleasure to mention him somewhere in the video. Go subscribe to his channel, link in the description. Back to what I was saying, this exploit comes from actual Roblox. So you don't need to import any mono ID, you don't need to block code or anything like that. You can just exploit right away. This also means that the Seal Hacks team could do these exploits in many Retrostudio games due to them not having a lot of anti-cheat, which is quite a shocker because you're literally making a game on old Roblox. This team is notorious for being hard to stop due to their immense power they have over the normal human being that plays Retrostudio. But I haven't really seen them hack a game that I was in yet. Make sure to record any footage they see of exploiters. I like going over these in my free time. Lag exploits. Lag exploits are, lag exploits. Except it's a vulnerability within the Retrostudio game. You see, certain tools may slip and allow you to lag the server so hard to the point where they are unavailable to play. And if you knew how to exploit, you know how to execute them. And so came that. For example, this year's Easter game had a tool that made those that could do this available to lag servers. Now, this next layer will have your guys' minds be blown. If you haven't heard of them already, well, welcome to the 6th layer of the iceberg. Beyond 5D. Beyond 5D from here on, I believe, was one of the scariest things that happened in Retrostudio history. Basically, Beyond 5D was an ex-developer on Retrostudio. I'm not sure for how long, but when he was fired for allegedly him being unorganized for his messy code, this and also being banned from Retrostudio outraged him really bad and basically found a way to mess up as much games as he could in Retrostudio. Now at the time, Retrostudio had no way so you could restore your game to a previous state before this happened, but unfortunately there's a few games that could not be restored. Fun fact, one of my friend Superman actually had one of these games and he was said that he was given 1 million Retrobucks by A-Ray, so props. Now, I call the world that Beyond put us in this the underworld. When joining a game, it seems like it's perfectly fine, but you get met here. A red world with many sides displaying his feelings on himself, Retrostudio itself, and the devs. I also want to speak on this topic you guys may remember. Remember during May, specifically the 20th of 2025, something similar happened. Some front page games like Natural Disaster Survival redirected you to a very inappropriate game that I can't show on here on YouTube. Many people speculated that it was Beyond 5D, but he spoke that it was not him. This incident is really weird. I should have made his own entry, but I feel like it's good to speak about it here. Outmood. Outmood was somebody that legitimately bypassed FE in Retrostudio, which is really not easy to do. He's a known OG Roblox exploiter that's been around for some time now. With him bypassing FE, he starts to use server-side exploits and other stuff. There's footage of him exploiting and being crushed by a speeding wall, which he was streaming on the RetroDev Discord server. Fun fact, he's also affiliated with Tubers93. He's also affiliated with some other old Roblox exploiters. Some other credits to C6F120 for helping me with some other stuff in this video. I highly appreciate it a lot and it means a lot to me. So for all this stuff, Outmood is a pretty dangerous person. He bypassed FE in Retrostudio and actually hacked like big games. But I'm not sure if he's willing to hack or exploit Retrostudio again. I don't know if you guys are ready for the 7th tier of the iceberg. This contains some of the most dangerous Retrostudio players of all time. Cloud is okay, wait, what is his username? No.
What's wrong with him? Something wrong with this bro.
Okay, not even gonna lie, this is a joke entry. This Cloud is Hawkeye, if you've been tuning in my streams, is a really explosive exploiter. And by explosive, I mean explosive. He's just a troll though, so these are the exploiters that we don't mind, but it still breaks Retrostudio's rules. But that username still haunts me in my sleep, in my nightmares, and it always will. I will destroy RetroDev. In the Midnight Code, I will destroy RetroDev, unfurl the blackened banner, and watch RetroDev's old script crumble in humming embers. A clean, elegant ruin born of cold intent and quiet mastery. The skyline of servers bowed as one, and silence tasted like victory. Okay, wait, what am I doing with my life? Unfortunately, this ties to the end of the iceberg. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Let's get on to the outro. I want to give everyone a massive thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned or see some new exploits and gain some knowledge on how exploiters or hackers can get inside of your games to exploit in. I want to give more credits to LDXLU for helping me gain more information on stuff like retrobait and for seal hacks. Massive shoutouts and credits for the people that helped me make this video. Have a great day or night. God bless and see you guys.